Ever seen that one girl in class? The girl who somehow manages to do everything perfectly. She studies all the time, answers every question in class, and still manages to stay calm while everyone else is panicking before exams. The type of girl movies usually portray as the topper everyone secretly admires. When I think about that kind of student, one character immediately comes to my mind. Choi Namra. If you've watched All of Us Are Dead, you know exactly what I mean. Namra is bold, intelligent, disciplined, and almost terrifyingly focused. She's the kind of person who looks like she would continue studying even if the world was ending. And funny enough, in the series, the world basically is ending. There are zombies outside the classroom. Everyone is running, screaming, panicking. And what is Namra doing? Studying. Thankfully for her, Lee Soo-hyuk was there to pull her out before things got worse. But it raises an interesting question. How does someone become that focused? How can you train your mind so that even in chaos, even in stress, even in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, you can still focus on your goals? And before you say, "It's impossible because my phone distracts me," let me tell you something important. The problem isn't your phone. It's your mindset. Because when your mindset becomes strong enough, you could literally have a concert happening beside you and still stay focused. Okay, maybe that's a little unrealistic, but you get the point. So today, let's talk about how you can build Namra-level focus. Utilize your unfair advantage. Everyone has something they hate about themselves, left out or different. For me, when I was in school, it was my insecurities about my appearance. I was so self-conscious that I avoided making friends. Because of that insecurity and some toxic situations in my family, I developed social anxiety. I used to sit alone almost every day. Even now, that anxiety hasn't fully healed, but I'm working on it. But something unexpected happened because of that loneliness. Since I was already alone, I started focusing more during class. While others were talking during breaks, I was studying. While others were distracted, I was paying attention. And slowly, what once felt like my weakness became my advantage. Namra had a similar situation. She didn't really have close friends in the beginning. Many students misunderstood her or disliked her. But instead of chasing validation, she focused on what mattered most: studying. Now listen carefully. I am not telling you to isolate yourself, but I am telling you this. Even the worst situations in life can contain hidden advantages. If your home environment is toxic, maybe that becomes your motivation to study hard and build a better future. If people underestimate you, maybe that becomes your silent fuel. If you feel weak or insignificant, turn that feeling into your weapon. 2. Learn to choose yourself. This is something many students struggle with. Setting boundaries. You cannot give everyone access to your time, your focus, and your energy. If something makes you uncomfortable, you have to learn to say no. And sometimes that will make you feel like you're hurting other people. But the truth is, you cannot grow if you keep choosing others before yourself. I've seen students risk their own exams just to help friends cheat during tests, showing answers, whispering solutions, not realizing that their entire paper could get canceled. Yes, friendship is important, but a real friend would never want you to destroy your future for them. Namra understands priorities. She's the type of person who would skip a party without hesitation if she had something important to study. Because she knows something most students forget. Your priorities determine your future. 3. Train your focus during difficult times. Think about this. Namra was studying while zombies were literally outside the classroom. And sometimes we feel like we can't study because we're stressed about exams. But stress should motivate you, not paralyze you. Now, I want to be honest about something. During my 10th grade board exams, I was struggling with depression. I cried almost every day. And sleep? I barely slept. Sometimes I would put on my earphones, listen to music, and just solve math problems to distract my mind. I don't necessarily recommend doing things exactly like I did, because I ignored my mental health and that had consequences. But what I learned from that time is something important. You need balance. Exams are not everything, but completely abandoning your studies when things get hard can make life even more stressful later. So try to maintain both. You need discipline, not just for studying, but for your mind too. Because sometimes life gets hard. Your thoughts spiral, you overthink, you can't sleep, and slowly you lose control of your focus. That's why taking care of your mind matters. You won't realize it during easy times, but during hard times, it changes everything. So if you constantly feel brain fog, feel sleepy all day, or can't focus properly, start meditating, especially as a student. Even 5 minutes a day can calm your mind and make studying easier. Second thing, eat properly. Too much sugar and carbs will make you feel even more tired. Focus more on protein and fiber. Your brain works better when your body is taken care of. And most importantly, don't break your momentum. Can't study for 5 hours? Study for 30 minutes. Because consistency trains your brain to focus. And once you stop showing up, starting again becomes the hardest part. 4. Don't get involved in unnecessary drama. Imagine this situation. Students from another class start fighting. Everyone runs toward the scene just to watch. But you are in the middle of studying. What would you do? Most students would go watch the drama because of FOMO, the fear of missing out. But what would Namra do? She would stay where she is because she understands something most people don't. Your energy is your currency. Drama will eventually settle, but your exam results, those are permanent. So don't waste your energy on things that don't move your life forward. Research shows it can take several minutes to fully regain concentration after a distraction. And if you keep repeating that cycle, your brain gets trained to crave chaos instead of deep focus. That's why disciplined students look different, because they protect their attention like it's gold. So if you know you get distracted easily, stop relying on motivation. Build systems instead. Study during the hours when your brain is strongest. For most people, that's the morning. Your willpower is highest before the world gets loud. Wake up early. Finish the hardest task first. Even one focused morning session every day can completely change your grades within months. Because success is rarely about being the smartest person in the room. It's about staying focused while everyone else is distracted. Now, this doesn't mean you should isolate yourself from everyone just to become like a fictional character. At the end of the day, Namra is still a character in a story, and we don't see all of her internal struggles. Real life requires balance. School isn't just about academics, it's also about friendships, memories, and experiences. Even Namra eventually realizes that friendships matter, and she admits she sometimes felt out of place. So the real lesson is balance. Academics are important, but the people you share your journey with are important too. Use your time wisely, stay focused on your goals,